Greetings, Beth Shalom family. What a day we had today, really. From the highs of the highs to the lows of the lows, we experienced it all. And I want to briefly summarize the 5 different things that we did and then share some of the videos of our own members sharing their experiences of what each one of those was like. We started the day on a high. We went to an Air Force base. I don't know who got us in, but what an experience to see F-15s up close and personal, to see the maintenance crews working on them, to see them fully loaded out on the runways that we heard from pilots. We watched a couple of videos, and it's just a source of great pride seeing the IAF and all that they have done. It was really just a great experience to see it, and it's something that none of us, I don't believe, ever had the opportunity to do before. But from there, we went to Be'eri. And this was such a difficult experience. Be'eri, of course, as you're familiar, is one of the kibbutzim closest to the Gaza border. They suffered terribly on October 7th. And we walked around, we saw the destruction. But the destruction was twofold. It was from what the actual Hamas terrorists did, and then it was what the IDF did to bulldoze the terrorists out of the homes that they were set up in. And you're just walking around. It's literally a war zone. And we heard from 2 survivors. One, a young man in his upper 30s, it looked like, who lost his 2 in-laws. His wife's parents were both killed. And he stood in the front of their house, which is totally ruined. There's rubble everywhere. And he told the story. I told the story of all the communications that we had with his parents and what the whole kibbutz has been like, and the plans for how and when to rebuild and what's criteria is going to have to be fulfilled to do so. But he's literally standing, and amongst the rubble of where he's standing are his children's books and clothing, because they used to spend a lot of time at their grandparents'. And a lot of us commented, it's like one thing to go to Auschwitz 70 years after the Holocaust. Be'eri is still smoldering. It's just hard to describe or to speak to a survivor 50 years later, where he or she has had the chance to rebuild a life and maybe has the nachas of grandchildren. But we're speaking with people who don't even know where to go, what to do, how to restart their lives. Very, very difficult experience. And we heard from a younger 17-year-old also who came back. There are only about 70 people who have come back now to live in Be'eri, and it's going to be a complicated trip. And from there we went to Sderot, which is a ghost town. There are about 3,000 people out of the 36,000 that have returned. And we heard from there also 2 survivors, 2 people who were shot on October 7th. A fellow named Yossi went to his house where we had lunch, and we heard his story from both him and his wife. They're making a bar mitzvah in another week for their twins. And they're like, where do we do it? How do we figure all of this out? And we heard from a Sardi Rav of Herzl, who took us to his shul and told us his story. He was also shot on October 7th. And his conviction that he davened to Hashem is like, save me, I have more Torah to teach, I have more to accomplish. And that's how he has been spending his days, fulfilling that promise. From those 2 places, Be'eri and Sderot, we went to Soroka Hospital, which might have been a downer, but it was just so uplifting seeing the Chayalim and their families. They're so optimistic, they're so filled with hope, these heroes of the Jewish people. And to be able to go around, we divided up into 3 different groups to walk around. We gave out all the letters that we had brought, and candy and chocolate, and really to be able to say to them, we're here to give you a hug. We're here because we care. And we came a long way for 3 days just to be able to do that. And it's something. It really is, it's really something. And from there, the day ended on a tremendous high. We went out to an army base near Kiryat Arba, and we hosted a barbecue. For the soldiers, everything you could want. And, I asked one of the Chayalim, like, well, what do you normally have for dinner? And it's like, eggs and tuna fish. Here they have a full spread, meat and steak and chicken, hot dogs, the works. And to be able to hear from some of them and to be able to dance and sing a little bit together was really just a beautiful way to end an emotionally draining day. And we still have 1 more to go, Mirz Hashem, tomorrow.
Hi everybody, back home in Beth Shalom. Today we had a very, very interesting day. We started out at an Air Force base in Tel Nov, which was really amazing, an F-15 Air Force base. One of the highlights was that we were able to see all the planes and how they get everything ready for war. At the end, they presented Beth Shalom with this wonderful picture. This is a picture of the F-16s going over, doing a flyover at Auschwitz. You can see right in the beginning of Auschwitz. This was done, I think, about 15 years ago, and it's pretty impressive. And so they gave this as a gift, and it's going to be prominently displayed in the rabbi's office. So have a great Shabbos, everybody.
Go ahead.
We went from the highest to the lows today, and we've only been to two places. The Air Force Base was extremely proud. You could see the Air Force is morally, their standards are so high. They don't drop bombs just because they have a person down there. They make sure that they are hitting a right target. When you came to Barry today, that's the lowest. You could see what we're dealing with. And you can't even visualize it or picture it. Just being here, it makes you wonder what we're dealing with.
So today was a very long, very tiring day, but I would say a very rewarding day. We started out in the Eri and Sderot, where we heard witness accounts of what actually happened on October 7th. But then we ended the day at an army base near Hebron, where we got to eat, where we got to sing and dance with the soldiers, and they were so appreciative of us coming out. They couldn't believe that we traveled all this way to be with them. And they asked me, why are you here? And I said to them, we are here to be mechazek you. But the truth is, I think that they were mechazek us. They provided strength to us, and nothing that we could actually return in favor. But it was just a great day, and they were all very appreciative, and it couldn't have been better.